Every now and then, archaeologists come across some truly extraordinary strange finds. Sometimes the discoveries are so surprising that they can't explain what they found or how it happened. This is a list of unexplained artifacts for which we do not have a satisfactory explanation. Let's jump into the video full of mysterious archaeological finds. Stay tuned with our channel, Ancient History. Stone spheres in Costa Rica. Giant stone balls, some dating back from AD 600, adorn the Diquis Delta in the southern Costa Rica. Known locally as Las Bolas, this monument is a pre-Columbian civilization and is made of mostly gabbro, which is a rock formed from molten magma. According to archaeologists who study ancient rocks, the person who carved this stone into a perfectly round shape probably did so with another smaller stone. That was already a unique find, but can you guess the next one? Well, let's see together. The London Hammer. Mysteries don't end here. The hammer's head, made of more than 96% iron, is far purer than anything nature could have achieved without an assist from technology, and stylistically, it resembles a 19th century American hammer. So what gives? The hammer is now on display at the Evidence of Creation Museum, which is also a shame because the curators did not allow further scientific testing of the London Hammer, leaving us stuck with incomplete information. The Antikythera mechanism. The level of craftsmanship on the old computer now housed in the National Archaeological Museum of Athens is staggering considering its age. The Antikythera mechanism has been created with being the first mechanical computer. Found in a shipwreck on the Greek island of Antikythera, buried under 45 meters of water, it was designed to calculate astronomical positions. Consisting of a case with a dial on the outside and an extreme complex set of gears mounted inside, it is almost as complex as an 18th century first-class watch despite being 2,100 years old. It seems fair to assume that the Antikythera had other predecessors and perhaps even more advanced versions, but none of them have been found, making it all the more impressive. Complexity and new craftsmanship returned to Europe when astronomical mechanical clocks were developed in the 14th century. So, how did the ancient Greeks, with almost no available technology, build such complex calculators? Well, we still don't know yet. Now let's move on to the next one. The Dropper Stones. In 1938, an expedition led by archaeologist Dr. Diquis at Bayan Kara Ula in China was an extraordinary find. Nearby caves contain traces of ancient cultures that once inhabited them. Buried under a thick layer of dust, hundreds of stone discs littered the cave's interior. At first, it didn't look anything impressive, but the disc turns out to be a gramophone record, 9 inches in diameter, a circle cut through the center, and a visible spiral groove. But it turned out that the spiral was made of small hieroglyphs. Upon research and deciphering, the discs told the incredible story of a spaceship crashing into the mountains, piloted by men who called themselves the Dropper. At least that's the conclusion reached by Sun Nui, the Chinese researcher responsible for the Dropper stones. We don't even know if the stones exist. Oh, wait, before we get onto the next part of the video, let me ask you a quick question. Are you enjoying the video? Well, believe us when we say we have so much more to cover, so don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Ancient History. The Saqqara bird. Discovered in 1898 during excavations of Pa's tomb in Imen in Saqqara, Egypt, the Saqqara bird is a bird-shaped artifact made of sycamore wood. Weighing just under 40 grams and with a wingspan of over 7 inches, it is thought to date back from around 200 BC, dated 2,200 years ago. The problem is that someone is slow when the bird is found. Documentation of where and how the bird was found is lacking, leading to some speculation about its function. Could it be a glider or even a representation of a flying apparatus? Some researchers suspect that the ancient Egyptians were familiar with the principle of flight, but it's unclear how it's affected the artifacts themselves. With its flippers similar to those of an airplane or glider, it differs from all known birds. Egyptian physician, archaeologist, parapsychologist, and astrologer Khalil Mesihar speculates that the ancient Egyptians developed the first airplane, but there isn't much evidence to support this. Well, there's a lot more to find, so let's continue this journey together full of mysteries. The Baghdad Battery. The device consisted of a clay pot 5.5 inches high, containing a copper cylinder held in place by a bitumen. Archaeologists found oxidized iron rods in the cylinders. In 1940, Wilhelm Koenig suggested that it might be a galvanic cell which may have been used to plate gold onto silver objects. No one has been able to prove him wrong thus far, especially since it only has to be filled with an acid or base to produce an electric charge. Quite interesting, right? The Piri Reis map. Rice pointed out Europe and North Africa, the coast of Brazil, several islands, Japan, and even Antarctica thought to have been discovered more than 300 years later. What's most puzzling isn't that it suggests we need to rethink the chronology for some research findings, but rather that it shows Antarctica's topography has been disproved by ice and explains it in great detail, even though this was last done more than 6,000 years ago. Although the accuracy of maps varies and other accurate maps appeared later in the 16th century, this reference to Antarctica is very interesting. Half a millennium ago, how did a Turkish admiral map a continent covered in ice for 6,000 years? The Nazca drawings. There must be something foreign about the Nazca image. Discovered in 1930 when the US opened 2 new trade routes, they cover 450 square kilometers and some are more than 200 meters long. They show lines, geometric figures, animals, and figures that we don't fully understand yet. Whether they were made for the gods or for some other reason, it's clear that they were meant to be seen from heaven. Scientists had a hard time figuring out how to design and produce it without someone directing the work from above. We can only admire these awe-inspiring figures and wonder how and why they created by the people who are called the Nazca. Nan Madol. The city of Nan Madol was founded between 200 BC and 800 AD on a coral reef near Micronesia. It consists of about 100 artificial islands made by large basalt blocks connected by viaducts. From the start, it fascinates us with a mix of grotesque and sublime. It seems inappropriate from the start. 250 million tons of basalt in a sea of nowhere. How are these huge blocks mined, transported, and placed in the right places? Even by today's standards, that would be an impressive feat of engineering. This mystery is very confusing because there is no fresh water or food in Nan Madol. Water must have been transported inland, even by boat. All of this requires tremendous amounts of hard work, and it's not clear why or how it's done. While some occultists have speculated that this could indicate a lost continent, there is no evidence to support this. The mystery of this place takes another form. Why and how was this city built on a rock? And last but not least, the Sacsayhuaman Walls. Located near Cusco, more than 3,500 meters above sea level, this Great Wall first fascinated the Spanish conquistadors. They wondered how these people, whom they considered stupid and devoid of logical thinking skills, had constructed such a miracle. They are 3 concentric walls that average above 360 meters long and 6 meters high, made of limestone blocks weighing about 300 tons. They used no mortar or even cement to join the walls, but carved and spaced so tightly that not even a sharp knife could penetrate between the 2 blocks. Scientists have tried to do this on a much smaller scale and failed to recreate the narrow junctions of the Sacsayhuaman Walls. This is only a small part of the mysterious artifacts that have remained hidden in the clouds of time. And this was all for today's video. I hope you've clicked on that like button and also left a beautiful comment. Subscribe to our channel Ancient History for more such deep and interesting videos. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.